Hello and welcome to Miraculous Monday, the only show in Montreal that tells your miracle story. I'm Felix Boudreau, your host. The word miracle, you can hear it all the time, but what does it really mean? Dominique Daou explored the different meanings of the word.
The word miracle can have a different interpretation for everyone. In certain religions, the word miracle only applies to specific experiences. I spoke with Sean Turriff, a doctoral student in the religion department here at Concordia, to get an understanding of how miracles are portrayed in the Catholic tradition.
It needs to be a miraculous recovery from a disease that otherwise can't be recovered from. Cancer is a good example, often ends up being one of the miracles. Tuberculosis was generally considered to be fatal, and a recovery from that was considered miraculous.
By having such a clear definition of miracles in Catholicism, could there be a discrepancy in how they're portrayed in the news?
Of course, you always see in the news, 6-year-old miraculously survives car crash, or there's that sort of sense. But in the Catholic tradition, it's usually a little more official than that.
The word miracle is used a lot in the media. How many times have you heard the story of someone miraculously surviving a car crash? I met with Trudy Mason of CJAD to see what she had to say about this.
Media people in general tend to be skeptical, and I think it's a healthy skepticism. So I don't think you really have to weigh in at all on whether or not it is an actual miracle. You just have to report on how people are perceiving it. That's your job.
Regardless of the journalist's opinion, you need to be extra attentive when reporting on such stories.
I do think it's important to be especially sensitive when you're handling stories about religious belief, that you don't go out of your way to make people who believe look stupid or look foolish or gullible.
In the media and in religions, both handle the word miracle with care. In religion, they have to be carefully documented, while reporters try to stay neutral. But in the end, everyone is fascinated about miracles and want to hear about them. For Concordia News, I'm Dominique Daou.
Finding hope when science fails us can be difficult, especially when the health and well-being of children are involved. Julian Jones finds out why one family decided to turn to nature for an answer to their son's disease.
5-year-old Joseph Oliveri has autism, a neurological disorder that impairs social interaction. His parents say communication with Joseph is a little different.
He'll ask for his cookie, he'll ask for his toy, but they'll be missing like the continuous conversation. That's all he's missing from right now.
They have been told by doctors to learn to cope and respect Joseph's learning progression.
But Joseph is not alone. 1 in 154 Canadian children suffers from the disorder. In the past decade alone, autism diagnoses have gone up almost 200% for no apparent reason. And while scientists struggle to find answers to these questions, Joseph's parents refuse to acquiesce.
Instead, Tony and Francesca have taken upon themselves to find a miraculous cure to their son's genetic disorder. Every year, they go to Arequipa in Peru, where Joseph gets a 2-week treatment with a local practitioner.
Gave him like osteopathic treatment and an all-natural herb directly from the jungle.
After the 2 weeks treatment, we come back with 1 year supply of the herbs as well. So Joseph continues taking the herbs every day.
We heard about him the first time through a colleague of mine that had lung cancer and was diagnosed with lung cancer, and they had given him 3 months to live. He heard about him through someone else, went down there, and we're 7 years later, and he got cured of his cancer.
Well, Joseph was non-verbal. We came back and already we saw progress. He was starting to say words.
Next fall, the couple hopes Joseph can attend a school for children with autism. They say this too will help him develop his social and communication skills.
There's some people that will look at us and will say, it's normal progression, give him time, it's normal progression of a kid. Some people just don't believe it, and other people will be very proactive with us and believe in what we're...
Believers or not, no one has yet been able to decipher Joseph's mysterious disease. In Montreal, I'm Julia Jones.
Do you believe in ghosts? Reporter Stéphanie Mercier-Boyer explores the question with the owners of the supposedly haunted Pierre du Calvet house.
The Pierre du Calvet house in Old Montreal is thought to be one of the most haunted sites in the city. The main house was built in 1725 and was bought by Pierre du Calvet in 1770. The owners are now Gaétan Trottier and Ronald Ravigné. Trottier says most ghost stories he has heard involve one person in particular.
Il y en a qui prétendent que dans la maison Calvet, qui est la partie la plus ancienne, qu'il y a encore le fantôme de ce qu'on appelle ici Marie-Blanche. Marie-Blanche, c'était en fait la femme de Pierre du Calvet, Marie-Louise, qui était son vrai nom. Et elle est morte très jeune.
The owners both have very different opinions about ghosts. Travigné says he has seen ghosts in the hotel. He has also heard a lot of similar stories coming from customers.
Des clients dans l'hôtel et qui nous ont dit que un soir, devant le feu, à un moment donné, les deux personnes, le mari et la femme, m'ont dit qu'il y avait un monsieur assis sur le bout du lit qui le regardait avec un grand sourire. Donc, à ce moment-là, ils ont sorti de la chambre, ils sont rentrés et le monsieur était parti.
Trottier does not believe those stories to be true. However, he still admits there is something special about the Pierre du Calvet house.
Ce que je pense, par contre, c'est que c'est une maison magique. Quand on fait le tour de la maison, on sent des vibrations, on sent qu'il y a comme une présence de tous ces gens-là qui ont habité la maison. Et ça imprègne la maison d'une espèce de dynamique particulière. Ouais. C'est la magie.
Whether you call it magic or ghosts, there truly is something mysterious about the Pierre du Calvet house. In Montreal, I'm Stéphanie Mercier-Boyer.
People turn to psychics looking for answers in their life, hoping their problems can be miraculously solved. Anna Haywood tells us why psychics really are miracle workers.
Catherine Allen is a clairvoyant medium. She says she has been able to see and hear spirits since her childhood. She said it was difficult to control her abilities at first, but now she has realized the full potential of what she can do.
When you don't know somebody and you're saying something that sounds really odd or feels awkward or strange for you to say, and it turns out to be right. And just trusting that more, and the more I did it, the more these abilities expanded. Like the mediumship, I had no idea that that's what I was doing. I didn't even know what it was, and I was doing it.
Catherine is there for people who feel their problems go beyond what modern medicine can explain. She uses different methods to help heal them. Sometimes, all they need is a sound.
But despite the popularity of psychics, there are still many critics out there. And according to them, the only power that a psychic needs is the ability to exploit people's delusions.
Jennifer Trenton is a part of the Montreal Centre for Inquiry. She believes psychics are a scam.
It's exploitation, it is manipulation, it's on one hand not very fair to the people who truly believe in this because they are paying for something that's not really true. On the other hand, they believe in it, so what can you really say?
Skeptic is the one who's the most scared of this, actually. It's the opposite is not skepticism, it's indifference. You know, so I don't indulge that anymore because it's not respectful to myself to do it.
Rather than arguing with critics, Catherine spends her time guiding like-minded people.
But yeah, I always had the intention of spotting people who might have been like myself, who needed the tools, the confidence, someone to be that mom or whatever, that guide, and to point them in the right direction.
Whether you believe in Catherine's abilities or not, the real miracle here is that she is helping people. In Montreal, I'm Anna Haywood.
Thanks for watching. I'm Felix Boudreau. See you next week on Miraculous Mondays.
We see music as all magic. You can't even hold it.
Do you notice and recognize miracles?
It's just there in the air.
Are you a believer in miracles?
Pure motherfucking magic, right? This shit'll blow your motherfucking mind. Music is...